Good morning, first grade. Happy Friday. I wanted to share another one of those geodes with you you're welcome to go and read this yourself after you listen to me reading it, or, feel free to read along with me while you're watching this video. But this is called Anansi and the Pot of Beans. And this story is what we would consider to be a folk tale, and folk tales are the type of story that sometimes started as more of a word of mouth story, or a story that wasn't necessarily in a book, but it was a story that people told other people just by telling the story, not reading it. And oftentimes folk tales are stories that have been passed down from generation to generation to generation, meaning like, the great 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 grandparents told the story to the great 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 grandparents, and then that went to the great 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 grandparents, and then that was told to the great great grandparents, and then was told to the great great grandparents, and then told to the grandparents, and then the parents, and then the children. So that's what I mean by they're often passed down from generation to generation, in families. And they're normally told to teach a lesson. So there's some kind of point, lesson, message in a folk tale that is supposed to, help the reader to learn about something and learn a lesson. So let's see if you can figure out what the lesson is, or what the author's trying to teach us in Anansi and the Pot of Beans. I have a story for you. It is from back in time. Dig and pat, dig and pat. Anansi had such a big job. He had to plant seeds. He had a lot of legs, but he did not like to dig. Dig and pat, dig and pat. It was hot in the sun. I want to nap, not dig. Nana said, "If you dig, I will whip up a pot of beans for you." Yum, I love beans. Okay, I will dig for you. And I noticed some quotation marks there, so it's what the characters are saying. I don't know if anyone else noticed. Dig and pat, dig and pat. Nana put in a dash of this and a dab of that. She left the pot to cook. Tick tock, tick tock. Anansi had to check on it. Just one lick. I wish I had a cup. My hat. Yes. He put the beans into his hat. Ack! Nana was back, and she was mad. He put on his hat and ran. Pit pat, pit pat. He hid in the grass. Ack! It is hot. He took off his hat. His hair was gone. Anansi tried to trick Nana, but in the end, the trick was on him. All right, so that was Anansi and the Pot of Beans. So let's read the more section and learn a little bit more about this story. So Anansi is a trickster in many folk tales told by the Asante people of Ghana. Anansi is mischievous and enjoys causing trouble. He does not care about right or wrong. Clever and resourceful, Anansi lives by his wits. Trickster tales are told to entertain and to teach lessons. From the fox of Aesop's fables to the coyote of the Nez Perce, these tales are shared by storytellers worldwide. So Anansi is a character that there are other stories told about Anansi, and you may see other stories with him in it. So he is this character that is this kind of trickster spider that can sometimes get himself in trouble, but he's resourceful, meaning he uses what's around him to try to kind of take care of himself the best that he can. But this character, Anansi of the spider, is used in tales, folk tales like this, that are told to try to teach people lessons and teach people, kind of the right way to act versus the wrong way to act. It says in West Africa, storytellers called griots are honored members of society. In the past, griots used their knowledge to advise and influence kings. Even today, they preserve a community's history as tales are retold across generations through story and song. And that was a little bit about what we talked about at the beginning, that these types of stories are often, passed on from generation to generation. And what that part is saying is that the storytellers of the community are, well respected as having a lot of knowledge and that could help give advice through their stories to even the kings during that time. So that was a little bit about Anansi. And you, like I said, you may see other stories with him as a character in it. I know I have another book in here that is based on Anansi the spider. So I hope you enjoyed it. And what do you think was the lesson that they were trying to teach us through this story? What do you think? I'll let you think about it for a second. I was thinking because he was supposed to do his work and then he would get the beans that he wanted, that, taking shortcuts or not finishing your work, and trying to kind of, I don't know, cheat to the end, like he was trying to get out of doing what he was supposed to do. It ended up not working out for him very well in the end. If he would have just continued his work the way he was supposed to, then he would have had a delicious meal at the end that he really liked, and he wouldn't have burned his head and lost all the hair on his head from the hot beans. So I don't know if that's what you were thinking, but that's what I was thinking. And I hope you enjoyed it. So feel free to go and read this on your own if you would like through the link that is pinned to the top of the Seesaw page, our main page. And hope you enjoy it, or feel free to read any other of the geodes that you would like. All right, thanks so much.